Good morning, everyone. We will call this the January 21st Board of Commissioners meeting to order. Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hopefully everybody's enjoying this nice, comfortable spring day that we got going on. Next up on our agenda, we have approval of minutes.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes from our January 6th, 2025 regular meeting.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes. Next up, accounts payable.
Mr. President, I'd like to recommend the claims dated January 8th, 2025 through January 21st, 2025 be approved without exception.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the accounts payable. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Payroll.
Mr. President, we'd also like to recommend the payroll dated January 17th, 2025 be approved without exception.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the payroll. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Stuart, we have some bids for a project.
As Doug starts opening, this is County Road 500 East Phase 2 from US 52 to Old 350 South.
The first one is Milestone Contractors. With a total base bid of $3,682,915. There aren't any alternates I should be looking for, are there?
No.
Okay. Our second one is from William Charles Company. With a total base bid of, just want to make sure I got these right. It looks like $4,060,000. Next one from Atlas Excavating. With a total base bid of $4,167,708. And the last one from Reith Riley. With a total base bid of $4,090,000.
Thank you. Take these under advisement.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion. We take these bids under advisement.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to take these bids under advisement. Thank you to all four companies for submitting them. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Now some right-of-ways, or warranty deeds.
Yes. We have three right-of-way grants to accept on the County Road 500 East project. The first is for parcels 2323A, Gary Allen Shirley, in the amount of $33,200.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion. We approve the warranty deed as stated.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve for parcel 23 and 23A warranty deed. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
The second is parcel 29, Paramjit and Sukhwinder Bath, $46,750.
Move for approval of the warranty deed for parcel 29.
Second.
Motion is second to approve this warranty deed for parcel 29. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
And the final parcel is 32 with American Realty LLC in the amount of $21,000.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve the warranty deed for parcel 32.
Second.
Motion is second to approve warranty deed for parcel 32. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Folder's empty.
Sadie?
Good morning.
Morning.
My first request is for the Sheriff's Department, create one corporal position at a poll 4, eliminate one jail deputy position at a poll 3. This was approved by Personnel Committee.
So move.
And I will second that.
Motion is second to approve the creation of one and elimination of one job for the Sheriff's Department. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Lastly, eliminate the position of Health Officer Assistant and create a Community Health Case Manager at a COMOT 4 for the Health Department.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that, and I'm sorry, what was the health officer assistant position? What was the classification?
Who's a 5?
COMOT 5. It was passed by personnel as well.
This would be a $3,000 savings.
Okay. I'll make a motion we eliminate the health officer assistant position at COMOT 5 and create the community health case manager as a COMOT 4.
Second.
Okay, motion is second to approve these two positions for the Health Department as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Under Villa, I think we need to pull this one for right now because I do believe we need to be going to bid. Is that
Yeah, the threshold's 150,000, and I think this is coming in over, so we need to have the more formal bidding procedures.
okay? Okay, just pass that, board. Okay, then we move up to an addendum to an agreement for the animal sheltering.
Yeah, as you know, we started our contract with Humane Society of Greater Lafayette in September of last year, and that contract just ran through the end of 2024. So this is an agreement for all of 2025 at the same rate of $14,858 a month for animal sheltering services. With that, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion is second to approve this addendum. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Another addendum.
Doug?
Yeah, this is an addendum to the owner engineering agreement with Wet Environmental Engineering. There's actually two documents here. There's also a related memorandum. This is in connection with the Buck Creek Colburn design, and the addendum has to do with, it's basically an administrative change. Wet Engineering has a sub-consultant, Jones Petrie Rafinsky, who's in a better position to handle the invoicing. This addendum simply makes it to, we're okay with that. We just want to make sure that when we pay JPR, we're credited for payments under the whole contract. So this formalizes that, and there's a related memorandum, so everybody's on the same page with where the invoices stand at the moment.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion is second to approve this addendum agreement for Wet Environmental Engineering. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Ratification of the raised grant agreement.
Yes, this is our grant agreement with the U.S. Department of Transportation. This is a rec project, but this project's being run through Tippecanoe County as the grantee. Again, this was the award we received gosh, was it last year or was it even in 23?
2023.
It takes this long to get the grant agreement from the federal government, but it's a $25 million award, so it's a significant project for Tippecanoe County and for rec. So
I just want to sort of clarify the overall structure, just in case somebody's watching or if it comes up later. The grant was to Tippecanoe County. We've been working, and it was submitted in conjunction with REC and the two cities. And REC's been sort of the administrative arm of the grant. But anyway, it's a grant to Tippecanoe County.
with that, I'll make a motion, we approve the ratification of the REITs grant agreement.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay, motion and second to approve this grant agreement. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Sharon?
I hope there's a contract in your folder. Youth Services has a contract that was not signed the last time she came forward for Joseph Kidwell as a new Community Accountability Board member through December 31st, 2025. The funds will be covered from her ICGI Alternatives Grant Contract number 82869 at the rate of $60 per hour.
Move for approval?
Second.
Motion and second to approve this youth service contract with Joseph Kidwell. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any unfinished or new business need to be brought forward, board?
I don't have any.
Nor do I.
All right, reports on file. We have from the Clerk of the Circuit Court, Tippecanoe County Public Library, the Treasurer, and Wabash River Heritage Corridor Commission. Those reports will be in the Commissioner's office for the public viewing. Any public comment? There's a little paper there if you'll sign in on it, please.
Okay. Is that right now?
If, either or.
Good morning, everyone. Just had a few comments to make as a request for help concerning a situation that I've found myself in. I want to thank you for the opportunity to be able to speak today. My name is Jeremy Thilmany, and I'm here to address the profound challenges I've faced due to the lack of disclosure surrounding the property I purchased at 5515 Stair Road in Lafayette for $80,000. This property, located in a floodplain, is now unusable because utilities cannot be reinstated, a fact that was not disclosed at the time of sale. This has caused devastating consequences for my health, my finances, and my peace of mind. We've been told that this was a result of our lack of due diligence, which I do not agree with. Please allow me to refer to a few examples of societal precedents that show how we, the people in the USA, take better care of one another than that. In the construction world, OSHA holds contractors accountable for safety by imposing fines when proper barriers and restraints are not in place. Similarly, landlords must ensure that hazardous areas are clearly marked and secured during construction. Employers must have policies in place to keep their employees safe. These regulations exist because we recognize that failing to address dangerous conditions can result in harm, and that responsibility falls on those in charge of the process. If a bridge is out, is it the responsibility of drivers to drive in a manner so that they can see danger and avoid it? Yes, absolutely. But is it not more so the responsibility of those that knew the bridge was out to close the road? Furthermore, in the business world, if an employee is injured at work, do we leave them in a pool of their own blood? No, we call 911 for professional help. Sometimes hospital bills are tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands. Who pays that bill? Is it the employee? No, they don't pay a penny. It's workman's comp, which is a substantial part of the employer's budget. Again, our society has placed the responsibility for injury on those in control of the process. Mr. Murtaugh has expressed to us that you have procedures in place to prevent dangerous properties from being transferred without proper disclosure. Yet here I stand facing an $80,000 loss because this property was allowed to be sold without clear communication of ordinances that render it unusable. I'm asking, is an $80,000 loss dangerous? The impact of this purchase has been catastrophic for me and my family. My finances are suffering, my nerves are shot, my health has been negatively affected by the stress of this situation. All of this could have been avoided if there were proper systems in place to ensure that buyers are fully informed about purchasing ordinances in these floodplains. I can give you examples of other counties that I have lived in that require buyers to review and sign off on ordinances that would make properties unusable. Why is that not standard practice here? Why are properties allowed to be sold without full disclosure of rules that have such far-reaching and devastating consequences? I'm not here to challenge the need for or the legitimacy of floodplain ordinances. I'm just here to say that these ordinances are drastically incomplete. We cannot leave it like it is. In the construction and manufacturing worlds, engineering change requests are a normal part of operations. Why? Because engineers are human. They cannot foresee every practical problem with their designs. As blueprints become reality, many times changes need to be made in the design to make everything work in the real world. Engineering change requests are not finger-pointing, belittling, or negative. They're just normal life. And engineers, when meeting with those, don't pass the buck, pass the blame, or belittle those that submit the ECR. They fix the problems and issue an engineering change order. And of sorts, that's what I'm here asking for today. I'm sure these ordinances were created for good, but in my circumstance, it's causing harm, and I'm asking that something could be done. This is about more than just me. I wouldn't want anyone else to have to deal with what I've had to deal with here. It's about fairness, transparency, and ensuring that others are not exposed to the same financial, emotional, and health-related burdens that I have experienced. I'm respectfully asking for action, for help, to create an exception, to make a financial solution. If I'd have known these ordinances, I would have never bought this property. The second thing I'm asking is that some kind of disclosure be made mandatory so others don't fall into the same problems that I've had. Thank you for your time, and I'd be glad to answer any questions or discuss anything further. Again, I'm just looking for direction. I don't know where to go. When I called in originally, I was told to speak to one of you, and I'm sorry, I don't remember who I spoke to originally. And you referred me to, I believe, someone that was, I'm assuming, part of the variances and zoning board. And he could not help me. He said I needed to come here and meet with you all. So I'm just here asking for help. Thank you.
And did you purchase the property? It wasn't through a sheriff's sale or a tax sale, correct? It was from an individual or a bank or something like that?
It was from the bank, but it
Okay.
was after the sheriff's sale. They sold it through an auction.
And did you have a realtor?
No.
No. Yeah, I mean, typically, if you have a realtor, there is a disclosure that the seller completes that would state that, that
Oh, I
states.
understand that. I flip
Yeah.
homes for a living.
Yeah,
I'm required to disclose things of very inconsequential, like,
Yeah.
does the ceiling fan work?
yeah.
So why am I here dealing with an $80,000 situation that was not disclosed?
Yeah, I'm certainly not an attorney, but, I would think, your only recourse would be to go back and ask the seller why that wasn't disclosed.
Question? Everybody good?
But my point here today is, okay, I just keep getting bounced around. I don't think the seller, personally, the bank, knew of your ordinance to disclose it. The banks, when they get properties at foreclosure, they turn the power off and never try to turn it on. They winterize it, and for budget reasons, they turn the power off and leave it off. I buy those properties often. I have to turn the power on. They never do. So I don't know that that would be a solution.
Yeah, I don't know how that would get communicated, meaning if they don't do the research on that, I'm not sure that they would be aware of that, because, they're not reaching out to every county, who has
Okay.
different ordinances. Now, I would
Okay.
assume that that virtually every county that has the federal flood insurance that has to participate in the same program we have similar type of ordinances. So it's more than not would have these
Okay.
same type of ordinances.
I think my wife has some comments along this line. I live in Warsaw currently. Our Board of Zoning Appeals Director had never heard of this ordinance. So apparently it's local. It's not something FEMA related.
Well, it is a local ordinance, but to participate in the program, you have to have ordinance such as this.
And do you not feel any responsibility to educate people or disclose these kind of matters? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's
pretty,
all- I mean, it is
pretty
all public.
substantial to be faced with an $80,000 loss you weren't expecting from conducting normal business. I've bought properties in floodplains before. I've bought dozens of houses. That's my business. I do that for a living, but I've never heard of this.
I can tell you, there are a significant number that have
I'm
similar.
asking that those that set up these ordinances take some kind of responsibility in providing a solution for what you have set in place.
In this case, how would you have suggested we let this bank know that? I mean, we didn't know the transaction was going on, so.
Like, for example, a county that I used to live in Ohio, they have an ordinance where a property that's on an acre and a half of land or less does not have to be, they do not have to allow you to rebuild if your property burns down, your house burns down. They make it a matter of putting a lien of sorts on the property where you have to sign off when you buy it, that you understand that that property may not be able to be rebuilt if you have a fire. That's what I'm saying. It would not be hard to do something like that, to where someone would have to sign off that they understand this ordinance before the closing could proceed.
I do have just a couple of real quick questions. So you've
Yes, sir.
acquired this property that's in floodplain because the power was turned off by the bank, can't be turned back on again.
My understanding was off before the bank
Okay.
even, I mean,
But
it
there was
was,
a period of time where it wasn't.
it was, I believe your ordinance is over 6 months. It was longer than that.
It's either 6 months or a year.
A year,
I'm sorry, what is it? 1 year.
yeah. But to be honest, I can't say that.
And what's the intended, I guess I can't picture in my mind, I know about where it's at, but I can't picture what it was before. What's the intended use going to be? Is it going to be to to build a home or use it?
There's an
for-
existing home,
Okay.
and I was just going to fix it up a little bit and sell it. That's what I do. I improve properties and resell them.
And I'm gathering that the home itself is in the floodplain,
Yes.
not just a piece of the property.
Well,
There are 2 levels of floodplain on the property, and I don't understand all the details of those,
That
but
would be called the floodway and floodplain, I'm guessing.
Okay, any other questions?
That's all I have.
Any other public comment?
not for me. So you're saying the only thing that I can do is, I mean, I could go get a lawyer, but I was looking for help from, can FEMA do anything? Are there any grants? Is there any way to get help?
Not that I'm aware
Is the
of.
entire property floodplain?
There's a strip outside that's right along Old 25. But I'm assuming that has significant terrain.
It's
It's
extremely
pretty
sloped,
steep
yeah.
right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
To get up to 25, it's a hill.
Yeah. Hence why it's out of the floodplain.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you would, please sign in.
Yes, I've signed in, thank you. I just want to say a few words on behalf of my husband and my family. I feel it's very important that we place a face to this hardship that we're presenting here today. When you look at the records and say see Zenith Homes, that's my husband in entirety, nobody else. So obviously, this affects me. It affects my 7 children. Josiah Philmoney, Granite Philmoney, Judith Philmoney, Judah Philmoney, Thaddeus Philmoney, Joanna Philmoney, and the baby Justina, and I wanted them to come here today to witness it. I think it's important for Tippecanoe County just to physically see who you could be potentially bankrupting. I was personally told, well, you should have done your due diligence. So I was sent to the Tippecanoe County website page, which had thousands of pages and documents, and told that's where I was supposed to find my information. After hours of looking at the site, I didn't find anything that specifically said you can't turn on the power after a property's been vacant for 12 months. It's just not there in writing. It's multiple things connected to multiple things. We've also been told that this is not the first person that this has happened to in Tippecanoe County, so somebody else has also borne hardship because of these ordinances. My husband, as an investor, has bought dozens and dozens of properties and has never somehow found out about this ruling. If indeed it's coming from FEMA, it has never affected us in our county. I'm a realtor in my county. I've done dozens of transactions. I've never been aware of such a ordinance, and I have no idea how I was personally supposed to be aware of this before we bought the property. I've also contacted local real estate attorneys in Tippecanoe County. They have not heard of this ordinance, and they're real estate attorneys, so I don't know how I or we were supposed to be aware of this if your local real estate attorneys are not. We talked to our rep at Fidelity National Title. She's never heard of such things, never been enforced in our county. So I don't know how it could be connected to FEMA because it's not enforced the same in every county. You've set the standard of due diligence very high for the average citizen of Tippecanoe County. If attorneys, title agents, and realtors have never heard of this, how is the average person expected to know and do due diligence before purchase? I have every confidence that we can come together and find a mutual path forward, whether that would be through a hardship variance, whether it would be through monetary compensation from the county. I'm hearing all these millions of dollars, and I know to you 80,000 means nothing, but when that's your income, that's a lot. But if we can't come to some kind of a hardship variance or some kind of mutual path forward, I believe that This needs to be public knowledge. I believe every news station, radio station, social media influencer, every county and House representative, every state rep needs to know about this and what has actually happened to our family so that it will never happen again. And I also believe that every family in Tippecanoe County needs to be protected through safeguards that are put in place before floodplain transfers happen to ensure another innocent family in Tippecanoe County will never be bankrupted again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Motion to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.